Hey, what's up? This is Amanda Kiernan from Into Eternity and the Order of Chaos.
Hey guys, this is Stu from Death Dealer.
This is Cobra Page from Cobra and the Lotus.
Hail and kill everybody. This is Ross the Boss from New York City.
Hi, this is Charlotte from Delain, and you are listening to the Great Metal Debate Podcast.
Welcome back, Great Metal Debate listeners. This is Thog, and today I'm pleased to be joined by Dianne van Giersbergen from the Symphonic metal band Xandria. Dianne, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today on the Great Metal Debate Podcast.
You are very welcome.
Now, you all have been touring North America since the beginning of September in support of Sonata Arctica and Delain. Tell me how this tour experience has been for you generally.
Oh, wow. I can just say it has been wonderful. We have met so many enthusiastic people and have been warmly received into North America. This is our first tour to North America. The band has done some concerts, that's true. But first I'm touring and we're loving everything about it.
Great. Your musical style has many similarities, but also some differences with the other bands on this tour. Do you feel like you've been able to win over fans as you've seen them throughout North America?
Yeah, for sure. I'm very sure of this. When I see all the fists and hands in the air during our during our tiny set, then I am sure we did. And also our merch sales were very positive. There are very much people at the merch after the show to meet us, which again are very enthusiastic and promise to return whenever we will. So good sign there.
You mentioned the limited stage time. How difficult is it to select the songs you want to perform when the set list is so short?
Quite difficult, because there, of course, are many more songs we all want to play and the audience wants to hear. That's also out there. But we put together a set list containing songs from the last two albums, which is really the new style we're going for. I think we managed quite well. We have our hits in there and of course also the songs we would like to play. 5 in total. Our songs are pretty long, so set list is easily filled up then.
You can't play the title track to the new album because that might take up 3 song slots perhaps.
Well, exactly, yeah. So you already know now that's not going to be in here tonight.
So speaking of that latest album, Sacrificium, it's been out since May. I wonder if you've had a chance after the creation of the album and now some touring to step back, re-listen, hear what others think and evaluate the album with a little distance.
I don't think I'm there yet, mainly because we have been so busy ever since the album has been released, and to be honest, also before, because the recording period was quite hectic. I was also recording for my other band, and meanwhile also studying the new live sets, because the moment I entered the band until the moment we recorded wasn't that long. So I can just say it feels like yesterday that I entered the studio or even was asked to join Xandria, and here we are today. So time flew by. I think maybe at Christmas I have the time to sit back, relax, and let's take a step back and see how this all went. But I'm sure I will smile doing that.
I'll give you some thoughts of my own. I feel like Sacrificium provides just so much variety. You have the symphonic and operatic sounds, folk influences, and then you have a song like Betrayer that to me could be at home on a Judas Priest album. How important is that variety to you as a musician?
Very, very. I love intermingling different colors from a vocal standpoint of view, but also from a musical standpoint of view. It has to be diverse, otherwise it might get boring, not only for the audience, but also for us as musicians. We play these songs so often, and they have to be tempting each night to give it your best. And I think with Sacrificium, we have an album that does that for us.
You alluded earlier to the fact that this is your first album with Xandria. How do you feel like you're fitting in both musically and personally with the band? Obviously, a lot of close quarters on a North American tour like this.
Yeah, that's true. But I must admit, before I said yes, I went to Bielefeld, where the band is based. We tried out a rehearsal to see if we connected, both musically but also on a personal level, which is very important. Because, as you put it, when you start touring together, you have to be sure you like each other, even if it's only a little bit, because you're very close then. But in fact, the moment I entered the rehearsals studio for the first time, there was an instant chemistry. We started joking right away. And we, all five of us, had the feeling that, hey, there is something there, and this is a good base to start from. And I think if you see us performing tonight on the stage, you will surely get that. Yeah, we have a lot of fun together, on stage and off stage.
That's great. Back to the album, I want to ask you about the cover art, the beautiful fiery phoenix. Can you tell me, maybe just your own interpretation, how that symbolism fits with the music in the album, and maybe what's happening with Xandria now?
Well, in my opinion, because there are more opinions, but in my opinion, it could be a nice reference for a new start, being born again. Of course, I'm not the first or second singer. I think, if I'm correct, I'm even number 5. But I guess Xandria, as we are now, is here to stay. I am not about to leave. I get asked this question many, many times. But let me just say that I think the band has been reborn. I hear the guys saying that the connection between its band members is stronger than ever. And we are here, and we are going into the future.
I want to ask you a question that has to do with our podcast, The Great Metal Debate. We debate styles of metal, and in particular, the older 80s style of heavy metal versus the more modern stylings. I understand that you did your master's thesis on the relationship maybe between metal and classical styles. Can you tell me a little bit about your thoughts about maybe how those things could be integrated that wouldn't have even been envisioned back in the 1980s?
Well, I must add here that I did it from a vocal point of view. So I researched what the protocol differences and similarities are in both worlds, which is very interesting. How to compose a song best when written for a rock voice, a musical voice, or a classical trained voice. And how to compose a song, and from which angle you want to take it. Do you want to take the angle from lyric composing or music composing? Yeah, I practically learned what I already knew, is that it's a really good fit together. I think this has started way earlier than female-fronted metal. If you look at Nina Hagen, if you look at Kate Bush, those people were already out there, already experimenting, and I think they've ventured sometimes into a little bit more heavier music. Of course, Doro is one of the first, if not the first, females in female-fronted metal. But I think with Tarja, we of course have the first big classical trained singer venturing into the metal world, which has turned out quite good, because there are so many followers now in her name, me being one of them. I just think, people tend to think that this female-fronted metal is a genre in the metal genre. I think it's a world of its own. There are so many different female-fronted bands now. I also hear people say, well, then we should also call out for the male-fronted bands. There's a whole discussion there, but it's just so diverse that I can't really give you one answer to why it fits so good.
Let me ask a maybe more difficult question. Have your studies given you any insight, do you think, into what may be the future of metal vocals or just metal generally?
I think that would be very bold to give an answer to this. No, I, on my own, with my own research, cannot predict such a thing. No.
Interesting question to ponder nonetheless. So, So after this North American tour is completed in a few more days, what is next for Xandria?
Well, when we return home, I have 1 week off, which I'm very thankful for. And then we have a few dates in the Netherlands, Germany, Eastern Europe, again some days off, and then again some German dates. Then it's Christmas, which is a very important time. I think this is, for us, the first time where we can really relax, sit back, because meanwhile, on our days off, we also are busy with the new songs already. We have been to the studio in the Netherlands already, to try and set it up. It's really basic, but I have heard 4 songs already, and I can promise you they're going to be awesome. They really stick to my head already. So,
Oh, you're getting me excited now talking about the new songs. It's as good as Sacrificium is, and we'll be doing later this year our countdown of top metal albums. I'll tell you, Sacrificium will be very high on my list. So, finally, Dianne, how can fans who want to support the band purchase music and merchandise from Xandria?
well, of course, if you can, you are very welcome to visit us at our live shows. We would love to meet you face to face. We always shake hands and give out autographs, take photos together, if that's what the audience wants. If there's time for that, we'll be out there to thank you all for your support. But if you can make it, understandable, of course, then let me thank you through this interview. Because if our fans and followers wouldn't be there, we wouldn't be able to live our dream like we do now.
Well, I want to encourage all of our listeners to purchase music from Xandria. Get this new album, Sacrificium. It is amazing. You will not be disappointed. Dianne, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. I've really enjoyed this.
You are most welcome. Thank you for your support.